Ladies and gentlemen, good day and welcome to Zota Health Care Limited Q4 FY25 earnings conference call. As a reminder, all participant lines will be in the listen-only mode, and there will be an opportunity for you to ask questions after the presentation concludes. Should you need assistance during the conference call, please signal an operator by pressing star then 0 on your touchtone phone. Please note that this conference is being recorded. I now hand the conference over to Mr. Ajit Mishra. Thank you, and over to you, sir.
Thank you. Good morning to all the participants on this call. I am Ajit Mishra from Ernst & Young Investor Relations. Before we proceed to the call, let me remind you that the discussion may contain forward-looking statements that may involve known or unknown risk, uncertainties, and other factors. It must be viewed in conjunction with our business risk that could cause future result performance or achievement to differ significantly from what is expressed or implied by such forward-looking statements. Please note that we have mailed the press release, presentation, results, and the same are available on the exchange and company website. In case if you have not received the same, you can write to us and we'll be happy to send the same over to you. To take us through the results and address your questions today, we have the top management of Zota Health Care Limited, represented by Mr. Himanshu Zota, Founder and Whole-Time Director, Mr. Mokshesh Zota, Managing Director, and Mr. Sujit Paul, Group Chief Executive Officer. We will start the call with an opening remark on brief overview of the company, performance for the quarter and year gone past, followed by question and answer session. With that said, I will now hand over the call to Mokshesh Zota. Over to you, sir.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us today for Zota Health Care Limited's Q4 FY25 earnings call. I am Mokshesh Zota, Managing Director of Zota Health Care Limited, and I am pleased to be here along with Mr. Himanshu Zota, Founder and Whole-Time Director, Dr. Sujit Paul, Group CEO. We truly appreciate you taking out time to be with us this morning. I'd like to begin by giving you a brief overview about Zota Health Care Limited. The company was incorporated in 2000 and is headquartered in Surat, Gujarat. Our mission is simple: to make healthcare affordable for all. This goal has driven our journey towards becoming a trusted name in the pharmaceutical space. Over the years, we have focused on manufacturing, marketing, export, a wide range of pharmaceutical, Ayurvedic, nutraceutical, and over-the-counter products. Zota Healthcare operates through 4 key verticals: retail pharmacy chain, Dawa India, domestic marketing business, export business, and everyday herbal group. Let me now briefly walk you through each of these verticals. Our retail pharmacy chain, Dawa India, dedicated to delivering a high-quality generic medicine, is rapidly grown into India's leading private sector generic pharmacy chain, starting with 3 stores to 1582 stores as on 31st March 2025. And currently, as on 16th of May, it is reached to 1637 active stores, fundamentally driven by providing a quality generic medicine at sustainable, cost-effective price, remarkably 30 to 90% lower than the branded counterparts. Focuses exclusively on private label products in medicinal, OTC, and Ayurvedic categories with a significant emphasis on chronic therapeutics and ailments. We operate Dawa India stores in 2 formats: COCO stores and FOFO stores. Now I'll take you through both the formats. Starting with company-owned, company-operated or COCO stores, these stores are operated by our wholly owned subsidiary Dawa India Health Mart Limited. They are designed as a modern walk-in outlet, offering customers a superior shopping experience compared to traditional counter-based pharmacies. As on 16th of May, we have 901 operational COCO stores across the country. The COCO format continues to be a core part of our long-term growth strategy, and we are steadily expanding our presence through this model. We have also launched Dawa India online B2C platform via an app and website to ensure convenient doorstep delivery of medicines. The platform currently offers over 2,000 SKUs, including medicines, cosmetics, Ayurvedic, and OTC products. This e-commerce solution follows an hyper-local delivery where our COCO stores serve as a fulfillment center. In initial phase, the app has been launched in selected cities with 60-minute delivery and will be gradually expanded pan-India along with the COCO store footprint. We also operate 736 franchise-owned, franchise-operated, means a FOFO stores as on May 25 across the country, following an asset-light franchise model which allows for a scalable and wide expansion. These are compact 200-300 square feet over-the-counter stores optimized for a space and customer interaction. Starting from Q4 FY23, all our new FOFO outlets are being designed as walk-in stores to enhance customer engagement and improve the overall customer shopping experience. Coming to domestic market business, which is the oldest one and one of the most important vertical of Zota Health Care. In this vertical, we directly distribute our branded medicine, OTC and other wide range of pharmaceutical products across the country. We have built a strong nationwide distribution network in this business. Our products are sourced as a finished dosage form from well-known domestic formulation manufacturers who are WHO GMP certified. We have a portfolio of around 4,000 products covering all the major therapeutic categories in this category. Our product goes through thorough quality checks before being packed and sold under the brand name of Zota, ensuring consistency and trust. Currently, we distribute directly from our more than 1,050 distributors across the country. All marketing, sales, distribution, promotional activities are carried out ethically through our distribution network, helping us maintain transparency and credibility into the market. Coming on to export business, which we started in the year 2010. Over the years, we have built a strong presence in more than 30 countries, with a key focus on markets in the CIS region, Latin America, Africa, and Asian countries. Our manufacturing facility located in Sachin, Surat, plays a crucial role in this vertical. From this plant, we manufacture over 250 generic formulations aligned with the dossiers we have registered across the global market. As of now, we have received 325 product approval out of 586 dossiers submitted. These approvals have largely come from a semi-regulated and regulated markets, which reflects the growing acceptance of trust of Zota's products internationally. Let me now talk you through about Everyday Herbal Group segment. In 2024, we acquired 56% stake in Everyday Herbal Group, which is licensed by the Khadi and Village Industry Commission. This acquisition is a strategic step towards backward integration and aims to strengthen our OTC and cosmetic product portfolio. The products under this brand category carry the prestigious brand Khadi India Mark, which is adds to the brand trust, authenticity, and credibility in the eyes of a consumer. With these four verticals in place, we are confident to driving long-term sustainable growth. Our focus remains on expanding reach, improving store-level performance, and staying committed to our mission to make healthcare truly affordable and accessible to everyone. Now, I will hand over the call to Mr. Himanshu Zota to take you through our financial and operational highlights. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. I am Himanshu Zota, founder and full-time director of Zota Health Care Limited. I will now take you all through our yearly financial, followed by a few key operation highlights. Starting with the yearly financial performance, our consolidated revenue from operation recorded impressive growth of 62% YOY, year on year, reaching to 292.98 crore from 180 crore in financial year 24. Dawa India is key in this revenue. Dawa India continued to be the largest contributor to our revenue mix. Accounting of 64% of total revenue came from Dawa India, which stood to 186 crore, registering 80% year-on-year growth. Our domestic sales stood to 63 crore, growing 11% year-on-year with a revenue share of 22%. The export business also shown a positive trend, growing at 59%, reaching to 32 crore, contributing to 11% of total revenue. Our newly acquired Everyday Herbal Group contributing 11 crore to the revenue this year. Our gross profit increased by 86% year-on-year, reaching to 155 crore compared to 84 crore in financial year 24. Now, I would like to share a few key operation highlights in financial year 25. As on 31st March 25, Zota Healthcare continued to strong growth momentum through the year by expanding the Dawa India network to 1580 operation store as on 31st March 25. This include 852 company-owned company-operated store and 730 franchisee-owned franchisee-operated store. During financial year 25, we added 702 new stores with a strategic focus on scaling our COCO format. We are open 599 new COCO stores, reflecting our commitment to driving a better customer experience and operational control. FOFO also grew with 103 new stores, reinforcing our new thoughts in asset-light model. Customer footfall increased from 97.7 lakh compared to 51.8 lakh in financial year 24, showing a growing trust and brand visibility of Dava India across India. Additionally, our GMV, gross merchandise value, rose sharply to 45 crore from 137 crore, highlighting higher customer engagement and larger basket size, indicating a positive sign of maturing store performance. This number clearly reflects strong demand for affordable, quality healthcare products and success of our strategic expansion effort. The Indian retail pharma market is undergoing a major shift towards generic medicine, driven by their cost effectiveness, supportive government policy, and the rising burden of chronic disease. This trend aligns perfectly with our vision, and we believe Zota Health Care is well positioned to lead this transformation through pan-India expansion journey with Dava India. With that, I would now like to open the floor for question and answer session. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We will now begin the question and answer session. Anyone who wishes to ask a question may press star and 1 on the touchtone telephone. If you wish to remove yourself from the question queue, you may press star and 2. Participants are requested to use handsets while asking a question. Ladies and gentlemen, we will wait for a moment while the question queue assembles. The first question is from the line of Parikshit Kabra from PKD Advisors LLP. Please go ahead.
Thank you for the opportunity and congratulations on a great set of results. I had a couple of questions. Am I audible?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, great. I had a couple of questions. The first one, I want to understand the receivables number. I'm assuming Dava India does not have any receivables. So in which case, why do we have such a high receivable of the other two businesses?
The Concall receivable is nearly 50 days. That is not so much higher. And Dava India in franchisee business, there is some receivable of somewhere about 15 to 30 days. मतलब 15 से 30 दिन का receivable है Dava India franchisee business में. COCO is just cash cow business, मतलब completely cash business. So export business, domestic business, and Dava India franchisee business having a receivable of Concall receivable is somewhere about 50 days. So it is not so high.
No, बराबर सर मेरे को लगा कि दवा इंडिया में बिल्कुल भी नहीं है, बट ठीक है फ्रेंचाइज बिजनेस में आपका है, समझ गया. दूसरा इन टर्म्स ऑफ
बहुत ज्यादा नहीं है वहां पे भी मैक्सिमम.
ठीक 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 है. और ये दूसरा आपका सर दवा इंडिया, आप लोग फुटफॉल कैसे गैदर करते हो? स्टोर खोल लिया ठीक है तो पीपल आर कमिंग, बट बिसाइड दैट इज देयर अ मार्केटिंग स्ट्रेटजी, इज देयर अ चैनल स्ट्रेटजी अबाउट गोइंग थ्रू डॉक्टर्स और एनी अदर रेफरल mechanism that you are getting to get footfall to your stores?
Yeah, so what happens is that when we open the stores, we do a lot of BTL campaigns in and around the stores. We do not go to the physicians or the clinicians, because still now if you see how India is unfolding itself is that in India still not all physicians or clinicians prefer writing molecule. There are a lot of places where they still go ahead and write brands. So we do a lot of BTL activities on ground, and of course, at times, we do supplemented by ATL activities as well, towards garnering the footfalls at the stores.
Got it. Is it possible to elaborate on what kind of BTL activities or ATL activities you do when you launch a new store?
I will. So when I say ATL, you must have seen television commercials or newspaper advertisements for the generic push that we have initiated when we, as well as different radios all across the country and the respective pockets and clusters. When we speak about below the line, it is primarily, either the local campaigns of leafleting, either the local health camps that we do in the nearby areas, catchments, parks, etc., or maybe, things like, auto rickshaw branding at a local level and similar and more.
Got it. All right, great. Just one last thing. I don't know if you'll be able to share it this time or maybe next time, but my request would be, is it possible to share store count by aging?
Okay. That's fair enough. From next quarter onward, we are definitely give a store count by aging. Yeah, definitely.
Perfect. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Gaurav Agrawal from 91 Capital. Please go ahead.
Hi, sir. Good morning. Thank you for the opportunity. Sir, this time in the press release, we have guided for a very aggressive COCO store addition, I think 800-900. I was going through your previous decks also. We have been quite active in sharing our PPTs. Sir, historically, we have missed, earlier we were guiding for very aggressive expansion, but then, we realized some mistakes or some problem, and then we had to, cut back on our plans. So this time, after going through all these learning curves in the past 5-6 years, are we confident of achieving the guidance that we are giving in our PPTs?
So when you say your first part of the statement, could you please elaborate about that?
I think, sir, I don't remember the timeline, but I think, let's say there was a time when we guided for like 3,000 stores for COCO, I think in the past. I'll get back on when exactly was that. And then in Q1 FY24, I remember that we were trying to get 2,000 stores for stores. COCO maybe by 500 by FY24. I think that couldn't happen. So that was the context of asking this question.
सबसे पहले तो हमने लास्ट फाइनेंशियल ईयर में वी हैव ऑलरेडी कमिट फॉर 600 स्टोर. ऑलरेडी हम 600 कोको स्टोर करने की बात कर रहे थे और हमने ऑलरेडी 600 स्टोर का ही दिया हुआ है. हम FY25 जो अभी रिसेंट में क्लोज हुआ उसकी बात करें तो और ऑलरेडी वी हैव क्लोज 600 मतलब 599 स्टोर ऑलरेडी हमने कर दिया है. तो वी हैव ऑलरेडी जो हमने कमिट किया था, सिंस हम पुरानी बात को छोड़ देते, हम सिंस लास्ट 2 ईयर मतलब लास्ट ईयर में हमने 600 स्टोर कोको का कमिट किया था और ऑलरेडी हमने करंट ईयर में मतलब FY25 में वी हैव क्लोज 600 कोको स्टोर. So that is a fair enough. मतलब यहाँ पे कोई भी
sure.
What we are trying to say is many years ago, but what Himanshu is saying is that last year that we had planned for 600 company operated stores. I think 599 was closed. It's kind of close to 600 that was closed. So it's kind of target versus actual. What was achieved.
And sir, thank you for that. Secondly, I think we have disclosed our numbers of Dava India, I think for the last 2 quarters. So we have done 63 crore rupees under Dava India. So I did a very broad calculation, 63 crore upon your average, yearly and opening ending average decade. I tried to calculate the monthly revenue. And I arrive at around 1.7 lakhs, per store for COCO both put together. While sir, mature mein, I think what we target is around 5.5 lakhs kind of revenue. So sir, what is the way forward this 1.7 lakh monthly revenue that on an aggregate that we are generating right now? In how much time do you think will it converge to the 5.5 lakh revenue that our mature store makes? I hope I am able to, make my question.
Yeah, definitely. So अभी दवा इंडिया की बात करें तो आप कंसोल मतलब कोको और कोको कंबाइंड रेवेन्यू आप कैलकुलेट कर रहे हैं सबसे पहले. तो अगर मैं उसमें से कोको की रेवेन्यू निकाल दूं, सिर्फ कोको की रेवेन्यू कंपेयर टू नंबर ऑफ स्टोर मतलब अभी करंटली, तो अभी रिसेंट में ही हमने स्टोर का GMV ऑलरेडी पब्लिश किया है रिसेंटली बीपीटी में भी
42 करोड़ करीब किया है आपने. 42 करोड़
234 स्टोर जो है हमारे पुराने, वो अभी पर स्टोर पर मंथ 3.2 लाख पे है. पर स्टोर पर मंथ GMV 3.2 लाख पर स्टोर पर मंथ.
ओके.
और उसमें भी स्लाइस डाउन कर दे क्योंकि ये 234 स्टोर भी उसमें से
पुराने हैं, बस
मंथ पुराने भी है और 24 मंथ पुराने भी है, 15 मंथ पुराने भी है और 12 मंथ पुराने भी है. मतलब उसको 4 स्लाइड में स्लाइड डाउन कर दे तो हम 3 साल पुराने जो स्टोर है वो ऑलरेडी 6.42 लाख पर मंथ पे है और ऐसे 30 स्टोर
ओके,
मतलब।
अच्छा
तो
अच्छा,
ये नंबर ऑलरेडी हमने लास्ट पीपीटी में भी दिया हुआ था, करंट ये जो आज पीपीटी हुआ उसमें भी ये नंबर क्लियरली दिए हुए। और आप ट्रेजेक्टरी देखोगे ना तो 12 मंथ में नॉर्मली ये स्टोर 2 लाख से 2,40,30,000 के पे पहुंचता है आफ्टर 12 मंथ, और आफ्टर 24 मंथ इट विल रीच टू 3.5 लाख to 4 lakh, and after 36
Okay.
months it will reach to nearly 6 lakh per month GMV।
ओके,
और यही ट्रेजेक्टरी में लास्ट जो भी है, अभी आप रेवेन्यू को स्लाइस डाउन कर लो नंबर ऑफ स्टोर से, क्योंकि हमारे जो 850 कोको स्टोर है उसमें से 600 स्टोर तो हमारे सिंस लास्ट 1 ईयर में ही हुए, और उसके पहले के एक क्वार्टर में मतलब 99 स्टोर, तो इवेंचुअली 700 स्टोर, 850 में से 700 स्टोर तो हमारे यही है कि जिसको एक साल, ऑलमोस्ट एक साल भी कंप्लीट नहीं हुआ एवरेज।
जी जी,
तो आप अगर उसको डिवाइड करेंगे ना तो वो रेवेन्यू काफी कम आएगी, मतलब इसीलिए।
ओके 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 सर, दिस इज ग्रेट एंड सर जस्ट वन फीडबैक, if we can, sir, hire a reputed and, good auditor. We changed our auditor in September last year, 2024. And, the auditor doesn't audit any other listed company, as per, my understanding. So now we have good investors on our cap table. We are growing nicely. So it will give, investor community a lot of comfort if we hire a good, reputed investor, probably Big Four, if you guys like. So that is just my humble feedback to you, sir. I think in your filing it was mentioned that the auditor has come for 5 years. So, if you can think about it and make something over there.
Definitely we can think about it. Thank you for your suggestion.
Okay, sir. Thank you. All the best.
Okay.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Brajesh Nirala from 3P Investment Managers. Please go ahead.
Yeah, many congratulations to the management on posting a very decent set of results this quarter. So, I have a few questions. Am I audible?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So, first thing, in FY25, we added close to roughly around 1.6 coco stores per day. So, are we planning to add the stores in FY26 on the similar run rate, or are we going to aim for faster run rate in FY26? Or
It would be similar and more and faster.
So, more than 1.6, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So, okay, got it. And then in this quarter, we saw a hit of around 500 bips on gross margin. Okay. So, after many years of sustained increasing gross margins, if you look at the past trends of over many quarters, the gross margin has been below 40%. Now it is above 50%, closing around 55%. So, this quarter it is close to 50% gross margin. So, is it any a structural pressure which we are facing on gross margins, or is it just one-off? And what was the reason for that?
It is due to some 1890 coco store we have shut down in last quarter. So that will be some inventory is lost and some loss will be already booked on that. So it will be for a single quarter only. By and large, our gross margin will be improved steadily.
Mm-hmm. So this gross margin hit was mainly because of inventory losses on some of the closed coco stores. Yeah,
for 1890 coco store.
1819 will closed this quarter, last quarter. And what was the reason for closure, sir?
Some of store we have relocated, somewhere about 7-8 store are relocated.
See, what happens is that, sometimes when we find that maybe, some store was open around 1,000 days ago, a little older stores, and when we found that the rentals were very high, we kind of, plan to relocate those stores. So usually, if you really see the dynamics of these stores where the rentals was close to around 2 lakhs or 1.5 lakhs, so those are the stores, where we thought, we will relocate back to a little different places to ensure that on long term it's much more sustainable and profitable ahead.
Okay. So after 4 quarters of EBITDA level losses, this this quarter in Q4 we turned EBITDA positive again. So and that was even though gross margins were lower, but employee expenses and other expenses were quite lower compared to that hit. So is it like still we are looking at EBITDA negative for FY26 or are we seeing because FY24 was EBITDA positive for us. So are we like going to EBITDA break-even level in 27 or 26?
Maybe it may be flat for current financial year, maybe same like that last financial year, because हम अभी और एक्सपेंशन मोड में हैं और हमने लेट्स से एग्जांपल लास्ट ईयर हमने 600 कोको स्टोर किए और करंट ईयर वी आर प्लानिंग टू ओपन अप समवेयर अबाउट 800 to 900 कोको स्टोर मतलब तो ये एग्रेशन जब तक रहेगा ये तब तक ये EBITDA विल बी और उसके बाद हम क्या करेंगे 2 या 3 क्वार्टर हम पॉज लेंगे और जैसे ही पॉज लेंगे ना ये पूरी स्टोरी चेंज हो जाएगी.
ओके. Okay. And last question from my side, sir. I did some channel checks and we found out that we were very quick to introduce Empire at the end of March. So on March 26 it went off patent and we were very quickly able to introduce it to our store. So do we have any plan to launch injectable or insulin products? Are we thinking in that direction?
इंजेक्टेबल प्रोडक्ट हमारे यहाँ इसलिए नहीं है कि हॉस्पिटल से जो नॉर्मली क्योंकि वी आर फोकसिंग ऑन क्रॉनिक डिजीज ओनली और जो हॉस्पिटल में एडमिट है वो पेशेंट हमारे यहाँ कभी भी नहीं आएगा. वो नॉर्मली हॉस्पिटल फार्मेसी या उसके नियर मतलब हॉस्पिटल के अंदर ही मोस्टली फार्मेसीज होती है. तो इंजेक्टेबल्स वी आर नॉट फोकसिंग सो मच ऑन इंजेक्टेबल्स.
But insulin, sir? Insulin or other products related to diabetes?
Next, we are planning for insulin and some other जो diabetes के लिए उसको हम प्लान कर सकते हैं. एंड जैसे आपने बताया कि ऑफ पेटेंट वी हैव ऑलरेडी जैसे ही ऑफ पेटेंट आता है फॉर एग्जांपल अभी एम्फाग्लिकोजिन जस्ट रिसेंट में ऑफ पेटेंट हुआ जस्ट 2 months बैक एंड वी हैव ऑलरेडी लॉन्च दैट प्रोडक्ट. तो जैसे ही कोई प्रोडक्ट ऑफ पेटेंट होता है जैसे 26 में काफी सारी प्रोडक्ट ऑफ पेटेंट हो रही है तो जैसे ही वो ऑफ पेटेंट होता वी आर डेफिनेटली add this product to our portfolio.
See, you have to understand it all depends on what products are really needed for the end consumers in terms of fast moving and the relevant products of the chronic disease management. Be it diabetic, cardio, geriatric, gastropeds, nephro, whatever it is.
Okay. Okay, sir. That's all from my side. Thanks for taking my questions and again wish you all the best for next quarter.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Swaraj Mehta from Perpetual Capital Advisors. Please go ahead.
Hi. Congratulations on a great set of numbers and thank you for the opportunity. I wanted to understand how are the margins across different segments like export, domestic, cocoa and FOFO and what are contributions on the FOFO side?
Margin is nearly combined margin standalone console margin is somewhere about 50 to 53%. अगर हम सेगमेंट वाइज की मार्जिन की बात करें तो डोमेस्टिक बिजनेस में वी हैव रफली 30% ग्रॉस मार्जिन. In export business, we have a roughly 40 to 50%, in between 40 to 50% gross margin. Everyday Herbal Group, we have a 30% of gross margin. And Dawa India, in cocoa, there is 60% of gross margin. And in FOFO, franchisee operated, it is nearly 40% of gross margin. So blendedly, combinedly, gross margin will be somewhere about 50 to 55%. Because Dawa India is higher sales, it contributed 63% currently and gradually increase year on year.
And sir, what are our contributions on the FOFO side?
Sorry, please repeat your question.
Like how are the agreements with the FOFO side? How does that work?
FOFO, are you FOFO side? Hello?
Hello?
FOFO margin is 40%.
No. How was the agreements with the franchise operators? How do they work?
Yeah. फ्रेंचाइजी के साथ हम नॉर्मली 3 years का एग्रीमेंट करते हैं विच रिन्यू और यहाँ पे हम प्रोडक्ट को अपफ्रंट सेल करते हैं फ्रेंचाइजी को विद मार्जिन ऑफ समवेयर अबाउट 30-35% उनको ग्रॉस मार्जिन देते MRP से.
Okay. And in the other expenses side, what are commission expenses and consultancy charges in other expenses, and the difference between commission on sales and commission expenses?
Commission expenses is supply chain expenses. We have hire supply chain agencies that will take care of entire supply chain of Dava India, and that will nearly 10% of our sales. So commission expenses ये उसी का ही है, मतलब it is purely not commission expenses, it is a supply chain expenses.
Okay. And consultancy charges are?
That is broadly on.
Sorry to interrupt, Mr. Swaraj. May I request you to return to the question queue for a follow-up question?
Or you can answer this question and I'll return to the question.
Okay, please go ahead.
Hello.
Yes, sir. The consultancy charges?
ये कंसल्टेंसी जैसे हम नया स्टोर खोलते हैं, नया स्टोर के बारे में या ब्रोकरेज है, ब्रोकरेज को भी हम कंसल्टेंसी में जो हमारे स्टोर लेवल पे जो स्टोर हम एक्वायर करते हैं जो रेंट पे, तो ये सारे कंसल्टेंसी में आता है.
Okay, sir. Thank you. I'll return to the queue.
Yeah.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Siddesh Chaudhary from Maximal Capital. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you for this opportunity, sir. Sir, could you please specify about the same store sales growth for both cocoa and cocoa?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. से आप सेम स्टोर ग्रोथ की बात कर रहे हैं ना, कोको और फोफो में?
हाँ. Yes.
या तो अगर मैं एज वाइज बात करूँ कि सेम स्टोर ग्रोथ की बात करूँ कि जो मेरे 3 साल पुराने जो मैच्योर स्टोर है, 3 years ओल्ड स्टोर, उसमें सेम स्टोर ग्रोथ ही समवेयर अबाउट 15 से 20% का. स्टिल वी हैव 15 to 20% सेम स्टोर ग्रोथ ऑन 36 मंथ पुराने स्टोर जो भी है. फिर 2 साल पुराने जो स्टोर है वहां पे भी समवेयर अबाउट 20%, 18 से 20% का सेम स्टोर ग्रोथ है. और 1 साल पुराना जो स्टोर है वहां पे सेम स्टोर ग्रोथ ही समवेयर अबाउट 40-50%. ये कोको की बात की मैंने.
And for cocoa?
And for franchisee on FOFO store, it will be roughly 10 to 15% year on year.
10 to 15%.
Yeah.
Okay. And sir, one more question. Like we are expanding this aggressively, sir. What will be like the payback period for this cocoa and cocoa store? Any idea on that?
That will broadly after maybe third year onwards. Yeah, second year on payback will be maybe between 24 months to 36 months.
Oh, thank you. This is very helpful. All the best, sir.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Mohit Bansal from Sama Partners. Please go ahead.
Hello.
Yeah.
Good afternoon and thank you for taking my question. सर मेरा क्वेश्चन एक्चुअली स्टोर एडिशंस पे है. हम लोग इतने तेजी से स्टोर ऐड कर रहे हैं, तो कुछ ऐसे भी स्टोर होंगे जहाँ पे हमको वो ट्रैक्शन नहीं आ रहा है, तो स्टोर क्लोजर या ऐसे किसी क्या क्राइटेरिया होगा और आपका क्या विचार है सर इस पे?
Right. So if you see the history of last 1000 days and where we stand, and based on your question, So in last 1,000 days, there is a very, very minuscule number of stores that we have closed. Now, why have we closed it? As what I mentioned a while ago, is primarily because the rentals of the stores were extremely high, and there is where we felt it judicial and noteworthy for us to kind of take a call there. But if you see the entire ergonomics of the existing COCO stores, the average rentals are all close to an approximate value of only 35,000 rupees. So by far, most of the stores would make sustainable movement ahead, and there is almost very, very negligible risk that we would have for the same.
Okay. So, whenever we open a store, do we use, what data do we use to open a store?
Whenever we shortlist a store, we ensure that the cluster in which the store is getting opened have enough amount of potential from the perspective of the medicines and pharmacy. And the way to understand the analytics is as follows. Number one, we ensure that it has a mix of commercial and residential. Number two is that we ensure that it has certain other catchments like nearby schools, colleges, malls, etc., etc. And most important is that it stays sustainable towards ensuring enough amount of visibility and catering to the neighborhood at large. So these are the broad parameters that is always taken into when we open. We also do understand that when we are opening a store, we try to understand which are the nearby pharmacies who are present there to understand the nearby locality of the cluster.
और इसमें मैं एक चीज, जैसे आपका पहला ही क्वेश्चन था कि आप स्टोर बंद कर रहे हो, तो अभी मैं आपको एक सिंपल एग्जांपल बताऊं कि हमारे जो भी 12 मंथ पुराने स्टोर है, उसका एवरेज कोको का रेवेन्यू अभी नॉर्मली 2,20,000 से 2,30,000 रुपया जीएमबी आ जाता है. और अगर जीएमबी 2,30,000 है तो रिपोर्टेड रेवेन्यू विल बी 190-180 लाख. और 60% का अगर मैं ग्रॉस मार्जिन करूं तो 1 लाख रुपए, 1,10,000 रुपए का मेरा ग्रॉस प्रॉफिट है स्टोर लेवल पे. और स्टोर का एक्सपेंस की बात करूं तो नॉर्मली एक कोको में 35,000 रुपीज रेंट एंड 2 फार्मासिस्ट which will cost for 65,000 rupees and 15,000 रुपए अदर एक्सपेंसेस. तो मोर और लेस 1 लाख से 1,20,000 का मेरा मंथली एक्सपेंसेस रहता है. और एक साल के बाद नॉर्मली 12 महीने से 15 महीने में ये 2,30,000 2,40,000 पे पहुंच ही जाता है. जो पुराने स्टोर हमारे जो बंद करने पड़े, जो मैंने पहले ही बताया कि जो मैंने 16-17 स्टोर जो बंद किए या रिलोकेट किए, वो ड्यू टू हाई रेंटल, क्योंकि सबसे फर्स्ट फेज में हमने जो स्टोर किए थे उसका रेंटल कॉस्ट विल बी 82,000 रुपीज एंड नाउ इट विल ग्रेजुअली डाउन टू 35,000 रुपीज. तो यहाँ पे क्लोजिंग रेशियो विल बी निग्लिजिबल, मे बी 2-3% क्लोज हो सकते, लेकिन इट विल बी निग्लिजिबल.
ओके, तो इसका ये मतलब है कि सर हमने ऑलमोस्ट 1,000 स्टोर खोले हैं अभी लास्ट 1.5 ईयर में, तो एक भी स्टोर अदर देन रेंटल क्राइटेरिया हमारा प्रेशर नहीं दिखा रहा है, मतलब सेल्स में या किसी और चीज में.
1-2 स्टोर हो सकते हैं जो हमने बंद किया, उसमें 1-2 स्टोर हो सकते हैं कि जिसका, लेकिन नॉर्मली आप देखो कि अगर वो 2 लाख की जगह फॉर एग्जांपल लेट से एज्यूम करते हैं कि वो 2.25 लाख का सेल कर रहा है मे बी, तो भी मेरा लॉस कितना होगा? हार्डली 10,000 और 15,000 रुपीज हार्डली. और वो भी ईयर ऑन ईयर 15-20% का ग्रोथ तो कर ही रहा है वो.
जी जी, सर ये बहुत अच्छी बात है सर. इसका मतलब आप लोग का जो भी क्राइटेरिया है स्टोर सिलेक्शन का, वो बहुत अच्छे से काम कर रहा है सर. और एक लास्ट क्वेश्चन था मेरा, ऑनलाइन हमने चालू कर दिया है मोड, तो ऑनलाइन सेल्स ट्रैक्शन का कुछ आप बताएंगे हमको, ट्रैक्शन क्या है?
ऑनलाइन
वो बहुत जल्दी है अभी.
ऑनलाइन वी हैव जस्ट स्टार्टेड द बीटा पायलट इन अप्रैल. हमने पहले ही बताया था हमने अप्रैल में स्टार्ट करेंगे, और हमने एग्जैक्टली अप्रैल में स्टार्ट किया ऑन द बीटा. The beta have moved to a full-fledged Android and iOS in the month of May. So we are standing almost in the end of May. So it's too early for us to kind of comment on the online traction at this point of time.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, sir. Okay. Thanks a lot for answering all my questions. All the best.
Thanks.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Harsh Kumar from MIV Investment Management. Please go ahead.
Yeah. Hi. Am I audible? Hello?
Yes, please go ahead with your question.
Yeah. Hi. So I wanted to just understand what would be our CapEx and working capital per store for both Coco and FOFO?
Yes. For Coco, the CapEx will be somewhere about 17-18 lakh, including inventory. Normally 350-400 square foot का store होता है, तो यहाँ पे 8 to 10 lakh rupees fixture, furnitures and all these things, and 5 to 6 lakh rupees inventory. So CapEx in one Coco CapEx will be nearly 15 से 17 lakh रुपया एक store का CapEx रहता है. और फ्रेंचाइजी स्टोर में वी डोंट हैव एनी कैपेक्स, क्योंकि वो फ्रेंचाइजी स्टोर में कैपेक्स फ्रेंचाइजी लगाता है, तो फ्रेंचाइजी स्टोर में हमारा कुछ भी कैपेक्स नहीं होता, वो सिर्फ हमसे माल बाय करता है. Yes.
Okay. And Sirji, for your all mature stores, what would be the unit economics like ROC margins for these stores which are 36 months plus?
Yeah. So 36 मंथ पुराने जो भी हमारे अभी 30 स्टोर है, 30 स्टोर ऐसे है कि जो 36 मंथ पुराने स्टोर है, जिसकी GMV विल बी समवेयर अबाउट 6.4 लाख पर स्टोर पर मंथ. तो अगर मैं एक स्टोर की बात करें कि 6,40,000 रुपए का मेरा GMV है और उसमें से मैं 18% मेरा GST, 15% रफली 12 to 15% GST अगर मैं डिडक्ट कर दूं, तो रिपोर्टेड रेवेन्यू विल बी समवेयर अबाउट 5,60,000 रुपए, 5,60,000. और वहां पे मेरा मंथली जो एक्सपेंसिस है, रेंट एंड फार्मासिस्ट एंड ऑल दिस थिंग, इट विल रफली अबाउट 1.25 लाख टू 1.5 लाख, मतलब 1.5 लाख रुपए का खर्चा है, क्योंकि पुराना स्टोर है, तो वहां पे रेंटल विल बी सम 3 साल के बाद रेंटल विल बी समवेयर अबाउट 40-50,000 रुपीज. 2 फार्मासिस्ट इज देयर, 1 हेल्पर इज देयर. तो यहाँ पे 1.5 लाख रुपए का मेरा खर्चा है और 5.5 लाख रुपए का मेरा मंथली रेवेन्यू है, रिपोर्टेड रेवेन्यू. उसका 5.5 लाख रुपए का मैं 60% क्रॉस मार्जिन में कैलकुलेट कर लूं, तो क्रॉस मार्जिन विल बी 3 lakh rupees a month, and expense is 1.5 lakh rupees. So roughly 1.5 lakh rupees per month per store is store level EBITDA.
1.5 lakh per month, right?
Yeah, per month. Okay. So it will be somewhere about 15 to 18 lakh per annum per store level EBITDA.
So you just finally the store expansion that we are doing, at what point do we see the store expansion start slowing down? Like at what point do we see that, we've reached a certain limit, now we want to slow down and make our stores profitable? Like would it happen in the next 2-3 years, or do we have a runway for the next 4-5 years?
Okay. So if you see India at large, India have close to 8.5-9 lakh kind of registered pharmacies, right? And if you see the organized pharma retail chain numbers, which kind of approximate around 10,000 numbers that we have in the country. So there is a huge opportunity that you really have in India towards ensuring that you scale up and spread yourself well. So at this point of time, we are in the spree of ensuring that the networks are well spread in the country towards making high quality generic medicines affordable to the end consumer. But as we are growing, maybe in terms of the business strategy, in coming financial year, we may think for a short pause, if at all, towards ensuring some consolidation. Mark my words and statements, short pause, and if at all are the 2 statements that I said. Otherwise, I think we are good growing, and the run rate that we are growing would actually be not only sustainable, but it will also be scalable towards what we are aspiring for, towards the organizational objectives and goals.
But is there like an internal target that at 3,000 stores we will start, start slowing down a little bit, or we are just going by how things evolve?
I don't think that's the right way to look into it, because see, currently at a large company level, we have Coco and FOFO both put together. So at this point of time, like for this current financial year, we have already told you the numbers that we are planning for moving ahead in terms of scalability. That would continue for another 1 or 2 years. But yes, depending on at that point of time, how the business really looks like, and if he feels so, definitely that can be worked out.
All right, great. Yeah, that's all from my side. Thanks.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Nirav, an individual investor. Please go ahead.
Hello, am I audible?
Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you for taking my question. One question that I wanted to understand is that the supply chain currently is outsourced to, I understand, an ethics group of companies, right? And I think they also cater to a few of our competitors left. We just wanted to understand your thought on going forward, if we are planning to take the supply chain operations on our own, or we would be continuing with this. And currently we have a central warehouse. Would that be, is there a possibility of setting up child warehouses going forward? So how does the supply chain look like going forward?
Right. So if you see that you're absolutely right. Currently, the supply chain is outsourced, and that's how we are growing. But the way the expansion is happening and the current run rate that we are going at this point of time, maybe the business needs would definitely need much more supply chain efficiencies at a regional level. And the way business is going, there may be an opportunity to look for a much stronger strategy towards ensuring that we enhance the supply chains with a much more enforcement, towards ensuring that the medicine movements are much speedier, faster, and it reaches appropriately to the pharmacies and the end consumers. So the answer to you is yes, we are definitely willing to explore better efficiencies.
Okay. And sir, just a follow-up question on this. In terms of this, can you also help me understand what are the sort of inventory days at your Surat warehouse, and what are the kind of fill rates we are able to achieve at the moment for our COCO stores?
So inventory level at Surat warehouse is somewhere about 80 to 90 days. Something about 80 to 90 days. Because of अभी हम बहुत ज़्यादा high growth stage में हैं, नए store खोल रहे हैं. So it will be somewhere about 80 to 90 days central warehouse में. और अभी इसमें और हम extend कर रहे हैं. दिल्ली में हम maybe with a next very short time हम दिल्ली में और एक warehouse इनके ही साथ एक ओपन कर रहे हैं. तो ये आगे जाके 2 warehouse हो जाएंगे, तो काफी इसमें भी काफी improvement आ जाएगा fill rate.
Okay. And currently sir, fill rate क्या है हमारा?
मतलब fill rate is mostly 95 to 98%.
Okay, got it. And sir, just one more question, if I may. What is the next market that we're looking at? You said Delhi में हम expand कर रहे हैं. Delhi है, and उसके अलावा भी कुछ है जहाँ हम expand करेंगे?
Yeah, if you mark my statements, what I stated a while ago, we are looking to build efficiencies across. So I had just given an example of Delhi where we want to build further more efficiencies towards catering for northern part of the country. So in terms of efficiency build up, we are just trying to ensure that the efficiencies are there all across the country. And that's what it is. Yeah.
Understood. And so future expansion would be from which area?
Future expansion would continue across the country with a focus in northern part, maybe places like Uttar Pradesh and similar, and there would also be a focus in eastern part of the country with a focus in West Bengal and similar. However, if you see, there will be a unified expansion matrix that will go through with the vision of the organization towards ensuring that across east, west, north and south we cut through well towards building up the appropriate presence for Dawa India, so that it can actually reach out and ensure that every patient in India can actually get the high quality generic medicines at the doorsteps.
Got it. Thank you, sir. All the best.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Bhagwan Chaudhary from Shubh Capital. Please go ahead.
Yeah, hi. Good morning. Just 2-3 questions. First, congratulations for your great set of numbers and your great expansion into the last 1 year, and for the future, what you are the pathways.
Sorry to
Firstly,
interrupt,
any...
Mr. Bhagwan. I would
Yeah.
request you to move a bit closer to your phone. We cannot hear you well. Mr. Bhagwan,
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
please go ahead with the question.
Is it better now?
Yeah, now better.
Yeah. So congratulations, Himanshu bhai, for the good expansion and the future guidance. Few questions I have. One is, what the reason for putting the COCO into the subsidiary side and the FOFO into that standalone? Any particular thought behind that?
बिकॉज आगे जाके क्योंकि कोको अगर मुझे दवा इंडिया को सेपरेट करना है मे बी इन फ्यूचर टर्म्स, तो कोको अगर सब्सिडी में नहीं होगा तो मुझे वो सारे लाइसेंसेस सब चेंज करने पड़ेंगे कंपनी ऑन कंपनी ऑपरेट स्टोर के, और इसीलिए हम कोको को हमने पहले से ही डे वन से ही सब्सिडी में रखा.
तो फोपो कैन नॉट बी, मतलब फोपो को भी तो उसमें रखा जा सकता है. फोपो कैन ऑल्सो बी द पार्ट ऑफ दैट.
Yeah, फोपो को कर सकते हैं.
But basically, if you see, the company's focus is very strongly in cocoa, so that is the reason Himanshu is saying that.
और जब भी हमको दवा इंडिया को सेपरेट करना है, फोफो को हम स्टेप डाउन कर सकते हैं इजीली, क्योंकि उनमें कोई वो नहीं है रेंट एग्रीमेंट या कोई, तो वहां पे हम स्टेप डाउन इजीली कर सकते हैं इसीलिए.
Okay. Yeah. Secondly, can you just highlight about the balance sheet? What is the strength currently? कितना हम expand कर सकते हैं from the current cash we are having or planning to have some debt also comfortably?
We have somewhere about 200 करोड़ का कैश हमारे पास करंटली है विद वारंट कन्वर्जन. मतलब अभी जो ड्यू वारंट कन्वर्जन है वो और करंट जो हमारे पास कैश है वो समवेयर अबाउट 200 से 225 करोड़ के समथिंग कैश. वी हैव इनफ कैश फॉर नेक्स्ट 800 to 1000 स्टोर. मतलब 800 से 1000 स्टोर हम इजीली ये 220 करोड़ से कर सकते हैं. सो वी हैव इनफ कैश फॉर नेक्स्ट 1 year और 1.5 year.
ओके. और उसके अलावा फिर ऐसा भी कुछ प्लान है कि कैश प्लस कुछ डेट फंडिंग से 1500 या 2000 तक जाना है, या फिर उससे फर्दर एक्सपेंशन में?
मतलब करंट ईयर का प्लानिंग हमारा ये है कि हम 800 से 900 स्टोर करेंगे करंट ईयर में, और फिर नेक्स्ट अभी और 2-3 क्वार्टर जाने देते, फिर उसको हम एक्सप्लोर करेंगे कि क्या करना है. वी आर नॉट थॉट अबाउट, मतलब हमने बहुत ज्यादा नहीं सोचा है अभी हम हार्डली 2-3 क्वार्टर के बाद ही हम थॉट करेंगे कि इसको क्या करना है.
Got it. And my last question, if you can just share from your team this rising e-commerce like Zeta and the others which are into the market. अभी क्या है कि वो सब कुछ बेच रहे हैं, including, and they are into this race as well to get the medicines also on the board, और शायद आ भी गए हो. So do you see any threat in future and longer term from such kind of e-commerces?
See, there's a huge opportunity that we see in this. Means if I do a SWOT in this, so the O portion actually increases the weight of the whole thing, and the reason for the same is as follows: that the players' name that you mentioned, they are primarily operating either in branded or at the most into branded generic. But what we do is that we are then molecule with generic. So on one hand, they are trying to do something, but again, it's not easy to get into this kind of portfolio, when you're actually selling grocery or when you're selling FMCG. The whole business dynamics is very different, right from storage to execution to picking, packing, etc. But it will give a huge impetus to the end consumer towards shifting their buying habits to online as well. So there is, where we get an advantage. So, someone else is right, being a catalyst for you to kind of, ensure that the buying habits is changing and you just leverage out of that.
Hello.
I answer.
Hello. Okay. So just lastly on this, but in the same continuation, my question is, do you think that shifting to the new app rather than the existing app, doesn't it make some restraints for the any customer के मैं नया ऐप जाके ढूंढूं बजाय मैं पुराने से ही जाऊं? तो do you see any change or any thought on that?
I have not understood the question. Can you please explain the question again?
The question is, your point is they are not into the generic space, but eventually they can come into that. So my point is, rather than having multiple app in my phone, if I am getting the one e-commerce app, that will be most preferable for me rather than finding out for every new thing a new app. So any thought on that?
Got it. So for that, I have to give you some history and context of data for you to get into it. So currently there are three major players in India who is operating into a mobile technology front for supplying medicines, right? All of them are primarily a branded player. Now, if you see a little bit of history, in the last little more than 1,000 days, there are 3-4 people who also tried to come into the space, but none of them could actually get into the space because of the complexities of the space, etc., etc. So your perspective to say is that, okay, if I have one mobile app in my phone and if that can sustain to give me grocery and medicines, will that not be better? Medicine in India, psychologically and traditionally, is more like a barber shop. It is very, very focused and specialized. So people are very careful from where they actually take the medicine. And if you do a little bit of research, you'll see that people are more confident to get medicine from the place where only medicines are sold. That is typically the Indian psychology and mentality of people, for whatever reasons it is. Of course, I can elaborate, but time may not permit. So we at Dawa India, we don't do everything like, we don't do groceries, we don't do this and that and apples, etc. We are specialized in medicines and we'll continue to do that. And the end consumers know that these are the people who are specialized in their medicines and they can do it. I will also come to an added sustenance of my statement, which is that to launch completely into molecule is a Herculean task by itself when you have to launch into so many therapeutic segments, diabetes, speech, gastro, nephro, cardiac, etc. So that is the reason most of them are into either branded generics or brands and not into generic. Okay.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Swaraj Mehta from Perpetual Capital Advisors. Please go ahead. Mr. Swaraj, your line has been unmuted. Please go ahead with your question.
Hello, I'm audible?
Yes.
So I just wanted to understand what is our largest store or largest 510 stores, how much time since inception and how much revenue do they generate? And are they concentrated in any region?
In terms of revenue or in terms of size?
Both, any would do.
Yeah. Maybe our largest store will be at maybe one store at Delhi, one store at maybe MP.
See, we have
3-4.
Yeah, we have a good 4-5 stores, which are there. And by far, if you see the aging wise also, most of these stores have been doing extremely well.
And how much revenue do they generate, like the top store? How much?
It will be 8 to 10 lakh rupees per month.
10 lakh rupees per month. Okay.
Yeah.
And one headwind for the company is doctors don't recommend generic medicine. So how do we plan to address that?
See, what happens is that post-COVID, the end consumers have become smarter and smarter towards using the mobile telephones, etc. And our prime focus, though it's been into chronic like diabetic or cardio. So end consumers are well aware that, if they consume high quality generic medicines, that would not only be safe, that would be of high quality and would also be cost effective. So that is giving a huge impetus. So, once the entire revolution of Aam Janta comes in the country, I don't think doctors can actually stop you on the way. And that is the reason probably, if you see the data matrix, the growth of generic is substantial if you compare to brands.
Right. And which are the core therapy areas or top selling molecules in which sell?
Cardio, diabetic.
Cardio and diabetes. And does the product mix change across domestic, export, and Dava India?
Export is completely different. Definitely, it depends on country to country what is required. But for domestic, again, since the model is different in terms of distribution model, definitely there's a wide slice of variety that we will get through. And Dava India, since it is more of a neighborhood kind of store, definitely the dynamics would get through different. Again, that could be further slice and dice based on which region you're operating at.
And since now over a period,
may I request you return to the question queue for a follow-up?
Okay.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Mohit Bansal from Sama Partners. Please go ahead.
My question on logistics has been answered already. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. As there are no further questions, I would now like to hand the conference over to the management for closing comments.
Thank you all that who were part of this session. We are deeply grateful towards being associated, and the mission that we are trying to unveil in India is to ensure that India at large becomes not only healthy, but India at large also understands the value of high quality generic medicine. It is not only a business for us, it's also a business with purpose. There could be two things. One is when you do only business and when you do business with purpose. When you do business with purpose is what we are doing in Dava India at large, to ensure that every nook and corner, be it rural or urban in the country, we deeply enter towards the network of penetration with any of our models, be it COCO, FOCO, B2C and similar, with only one objective, that we build a better India towards ensuring that India is much more healthy. At large in Zota Health Care, we are striving well with the entire export portfolio that we do, with our domestic business that we do, with COCO, with FOFO of Dava India, and definitely with the new entrant of B2C. And that's the mission, and that's what we are marching at. I again thank all of you out towards giving us the opportunity also to showcase how we are building a better healthcare ecosystem in the country. Thank you so much. Jai Hind.
Thank you. On behalf of Zota Health Care Limited, that concludes this conference. Thank you for joining us, and you may now disconnect your lines.